Hello and welcome to Boropod. My name's Nate. I'm your host. I'm not going to waste time today. We've got our first guest here. Greg's back. Hello, chap.
I'm back. I'm all right, mate. Well done for unmuting this week as well. Fair play to you.
It's good, isn't it? You've been gallivanting around this place, haven't you?
Yeah, always. Yeah, for work purposes this time.
Malta this time, wasn't it?
Malta this time. Stockholm next week. So yeah, getting about at the moment, which means I'm missing one Stevenage game, which I'm happy about at least because
you always get about. Yeah. I uploaded the deer and it was off screen, so I've just fixed that. Yeah, good. Did you enjoy the game? Let's get into that in a minute. Pat's here.
Hi.
How you
I
doing?
wooed Greg arriving and then realised I was off screen and didn't know whether you'd hear that or not. But yeah, good. I'm good.
I heard it.
Here.
Probably a good job I didn't.
I'm that stage of lacking sleep where you're giddy. I might crash at some point during the show. We'll find out.
I'm still
But
hungover,
sugar and caffeine is keeping me going.
Excellent. I'm still giddy because the Patriots got absolutely turned inside out. So
Mollywopped.
Wollywops, indeed. Finally, last but by no means, why has the deer gone up in the top right corner? This is silly. Let's put him back in place. Nick's here anyway. Oh, mate.
Hello.
You're not less important than the deer, but the deer's pretty important.
The deer was very confusing me there for a minute.
I feel like staring at me, to be honest.
It's there to put you all off your stride.
Is it a deer or is it a stag?
Well, stag is
we're not Mansfield. So
Yeah.
Stag is a deer, is a stag, mate. How's your weekend?
Is a helmet a hat?
I mean, Nick's a helmet, so ask him.
Right. I grow our social media following, and this is the thanks I get.
Nick's Nosh really went off this weekend, didn't it?
It really did.
It's the best £7 you've ever spent.
Bit of food there.
It was definitely the best £7 I spent on the day. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, definitely. Otherwise, it didn't go well, did it?
No.
We'll get to it right now. Stevenage, away at Northampton, second bottom Northampton, lost 3-1. Marshall, Good, Sweeney, Freestone, Pidge dropped to the bench for the first time this season. First game he's missed through not being in a rubbish competition or being suspended. Luther and Saxon played as the wing-backs, Phillips, White and Kemp as that sort of midfield triangle, and then Cornick and Reed up top. Before we get into sort of the stats and the match events, as it were, I felt quite positive looking at this 11. I thought two strikers, Cornick and Reed, they offer different things. I like it. Kemp going up against Dean Campbell and Terry Taylor, along with Phillips and White. I was like, they should be able to win that midfield battle. And then Freestone, Sweeney, and Good. I was excited about as well. I was like, finally, Pidge's form has played him out of the side, which has been a long time coming. Don't get me wrong, he's far from the only issue. But I think I'd like to think he'd be one of the first to admit that his form hasn't been as high at the level that probably he would expect himself. Certainly that we've come to expect. How did you feel seeing the lineup, Nick?
Generally fairly positive. There've been whispers that Pidge might not have been in the squad, and I think there was a general consensus that was probably right. I think the only thing I said was I probably would have liked to have seen Robert start, but I can see with the amount of minutes he's played of late why he wasn't, and Kemp has started to show more of his usual self in recent games, so I could understand why that was the decision in that 10 spot. And first time seeing Cornick and Reed start a game up front was optimistic. I think we've seen good shades from Cornick. I think Reed has been screaming out for a partner up front, and we've seen that in the last couple of games. Having the two up front has helped him. So yeah, I think there was general good feeling about the squad on Saturday.
How quickly that fell apart. I'm just gonna let's talk about the game in sort of in phases. So we'll go before they scored, and then I suppose just the rest, because I have my appetite to talk about the rest in isolation is probably going to wane by the time we get to it. So Terry Taylor. No, it wasn't Terry Taylor. He got the assist for Michael Forbes to put Northampton 1 ahead. Very even up until that point, 50-50 on possession. Pass success rate for both was below 60. So, we're really playing into the fact that both teams are shite. It was very even in as much as neither team was really making a case for wanting to go on and win the game, were they?
I mean, it was a poor game of football generally, and that kind of, even before they scored, you could tell it was going to be a terrible quality game, because it was quite literally just ping it long, see who can win the second ball, ping it again, and that was pretty much the majority of the game, to be honest.
To be fair, when you got Tommy who's up front, what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
It just felt like two teams who were just really low on confidence, and the form table doesn't lie in that regard. But as soon as they got their goal, it kind of felt like I didn't fancy us coming back from it, even though we did equalise.
But it was from nothing though, wasn't it? The equaliser.
Yeah, it was a long ball forward, not dealt with. Nice finish from Reed, in fairness. Like, I can't criticise that at all. But I just want to get out, because I only really watched. I didn't see much of the first half, so I can only really comment on most of the second half. But it just feels like at the moment it's just things aren't going our way. Not sort of getting that bounce. You think about the opportunities that we did create in that second half. It was,
2 goals disallowed.
Two goals disallowed, but then also you think about the one where it was a combination of Reed and about 3 other players who just couldn't put the foot through the ball when it's two yards from the line. Like, and they're the sorts of things that when you're playing on instinct, you're going to just put the ball in the back of the net, and it's not even think about it.
Yeah, there was Reed's chance in the first half as well, wasn't there? Where before he scored, where he was through and just the blood got to his head and he just absolutely skied it.
And that was put us 1-0 up as well, that would have. So it was a really pivotal moment, it felt, in terms of, summing up our form of late, as Greg says. But equally, I've always said this about Reed, that he often needs like 3 chances to score a goal. Like, if he gets 3, he'll score 1. And it was kind of one of those moments where if you're going to score 1, it had to be that one. Because otherwise, the rest of the day was going to feel pretty bleak. Now, it turns out we ended up getting another chance and burying it quite well. But I think it did put everyone on edge a bit after we missed that chance, that there was a possibility it wasn't going to go our way.
Is edge the right word, or would a better way of describing it be it made everybody furious?
I think I had my nice woolly hat on, to which I swiftly pulled it over my face for about the next 2 minutes, just out of sheer disbelief that we were going. And I think it was on edge in the sense of every time we got a chance, you were nervous that we weren't going to put it away, rather than earlier on in the season where we actually built a bit of confidence that we get chances, we're going to score them. And that's that's the edge that I mean, in terms of then everything that went the other way, you were nervous that we were going to concede, especially then after we conceded that first goal, which was really poor defending on our part to concede a goal like that. It just felt like 2 evils coming together in the same spell. And away at Northampton's never a fun time to have those 2 evils present themselves.
Like Keir Starmer and a policy. No, it was disappointing. It was disappointing, like, because Revs did all the things we've been asking for, right? He took Pidge out the side. He changed the formation up. He put 2 up top. We're trying some different things to generate chances. And that first half hour, when you have a chance to really impose yourselves, the commentary guys, Stephen Dean, described a lack of movement up front, which we've complained about before. And that's like the bare minimum expect from your attacking players beyond the players in possession, is to be creating movement for people to pass into or to create space for your colleagues. If you're all up there standing in formation, it makes the job really easy for even a back line of a team who are struggling at the wrong end of the table. And then when you miss that chance, you fail to get ahead in the game, you fail to get the home crowd on their backs and gives them that sniff. And yeah, it just ruins all the momentum that you could have built. And the defending from that short corner was gross. It's something we've talked about here before as well, that, you know, if they take it short, you've got to get 2 men out there, because they've got 2 men out there, and 2 professional footballers, like 1 professional footballer should be able to work a dangerous cross, which you then have to defend, and we couldn't. And that's simple on the training ground stuff that you should be reacting to better as a professional football team.
Yeah, I don't think it was unlike previous games where we've said tactically we've approached it wrong. That it wasn't a game like that where you could see that there was an obvious issue in terms of how we'd set up or how we were wanting to play, because the chances were presenting themselves, but it was individual errors or lack of quality that was letting us down, not that we were playing a way that didn't suit players or that didn't expose the opposition often enough. I mean, we'll get onto their second goal, but Kemp's in an area where he just needs to send it back to Phil, and we get out of the pitch, and he dallies on the ball, thinks he can dribble his way out, and puts us in a position where we're defending facing our own goal, and you've got Charlie Good having to put in a last ditch attempt to try and stop a shot, and ends up giving a penalty away. And it's things like that. That's not a tactical issue. That's players lacking quality.
It's a brain
not
fart,
concentrating. Yeah, and there was too much of that on Saturday, and that's why we ultimately conceded 3 goals and only scored 1.
Yeah, it's a missed opportunity. You can talk about the 2 disallowed goals and whether they should have been disallowed. You can talk about, you know, not reacting to the penalty save and letting him tap it in. But it's a game that they didn't deserve anything from. I think 3-1 is a bigger gap between the 2 teams than I felt there was on the day. But there's so much of your own stuff that you've got to look at yourself and sort out. You can't be leaning on the couple of disallowed goals to act as a salve and say, well, it wasn't our fault, we should have got a point on the day. I'm not sure I buy that from what you put in out
there. Yeah, I don't really know what else to. At this stage, I'm so fed up. I don't even know, which is a problem for someone who's doing a podcast on the fucking topic. But I don't know what there is to discuss and dissect, because we've done it 100 times, been over it and over it and over it.
I think it's an interesting. Well, interesting is probably not the word. It's a very difficult position, I think, when you come after Saturday, because it's no longer just one very obvious issue you've got to fix to turn our form around. It feels like there's little bits here and there that just are falling short or just aren't working. So whether it's a tactical issue and then we correct that, and then individuals are making mistakes, and how do you really correct individual errors beyond mentality and more work on the training pitch? Like that's all you can really do for individual mistakes. And we actually created chances, we just couldn't put them away. So it feels like, as we seem to move out of one phase of something that felt wrong and needed correcting, we've moved into another phase that feels like there's now more work to do to fix something else. And that's the real challenge, is how quickly can you change the fortunes of individual players. But we're now out of a window. You can't bring new individuals in. And we've spoken about how difficult we found that last week in terms of the January window. So even if we could, I don't think we would be able to do it sufficiently enough to make significant changes. So it's slightly worrying, but I have some comfort in the fact that we clearly have been able to address a tactical issue in the short term. Now it's about mentality and players applying themselves correctly, and that feels like what we'd be looking for from tomorrow night's game.
The second
Pidge
half.
comes back in, right? Sorry, bro.
No, go on, Pat. Go on.
I was going to say Pidge comes back in, right? Because you let Northampton score 3 of their 29 goals this season in one game, and
he was pretty
you
poor
let
against
a
Barnsley the other.
5'6.5" player score a headed goal. You can't be doing that shit.
It's difficult because I think Pidge also had a poor game in the reverse fixture at Barnsley. So
Pidge has also been letting people beat him in the air.
Not Sam Hodgson.
I think if you make too many changes between games when your fundamental issue has been individual errors, you've got to give players an opportunity to respond in a way. I think Good had a really poor game on Saturday by his own standards.
Yeah,
I wouldn't drop Good for tomorrow based on Saturday.
no,
it's that kind of thing.
I don't drop either of any of that back three. Good has had that game, and probably there was one other recently that I thought he's been a bit off. But other than that, he's been our potentially best player this season. Sweeney was excellent, I think, actually. The thing is, like, Sweeney, I think White played really well. Marshall, for the large part, he might have conceded 3, but he didn't do a lot wrong. I don't think, he saved the penalty, and although he pushed it back into the path of Tom Eaves when nobody else was reacting to it, I don't think you can really blame him for that. He did really well to stop the first effort. I don't think there's a lot that he did wrong. Kemp was bad. Reed was okay. He should have scored 2. But I think he put himself a bit and gave Dyke and Moore a bit of a headache. Early and Wilding were all right. They weren't great, but they weren't awful. I think Phillips, Cornick and Good were the players that really didn't do anything and didn't provide anything. Kemp, you said you thought he was a little bit better, Nick. I thought he was fucking pony again.
On Saturday, he dropped back off. Before that, he'd started to pick up, but Saturday, 100%, it was one of his poorer games again.
I'm going to say something outrageous here. I'm not sure I'd even bother having him on the bench on Saturday tomorrow.
I think
that's how bad he's been. Well, you do. You obviously do because there's no one else. But
yeah,
I almost want to give him a game or two. Be like, no, you stay at home and you think about what you've done.
He had that over Christmas.
Took a long, hard look at yourself. And he had a big old. He had a load of games out through injury.
No, don't start that.
No, I'm being a dickhead.
It just kind of feels like we are trying slightly different things to try and get something to work. And against Peterborough, we got that win when we went for it at the back, and it was like, okay, let's see if we can go on a run. And it hasn't materialized. But I just
shit against the wall. Eventually, something will stick.
Yeah, and
it's a tough balance to strike, though, isn't it? Because you've got to leave it for long enough for it to have a chance to stick.
Yeah,
you can't expect a new formation to come up with the goods immediately. You've got to give it 2 or 3 games to bed in and people to get in it. But it doesn't matter what formation you put them in, if they aren't making movement ahead of the ball to create the passing angles and stuff, there's no excuse for that in any formation.
I think we learned from Saturday with Reed and Cornick, although I was initially fairly interested to see them play. I think that came from that lack of movement came from having 2 players who generally have lack of movement. Hence why it's actually worked having someone like Roberts up front, albeit not actually a striker, but because the guy gets everywhere. If the ball's there, he wants to come and get it. Whereas Cornick and Reed are a little bit more hanging on the last defender, seeing if they can find a chance off the back of something like that. So, I don't think Cornick was awful on Saturday, but I am also getting a little frustrated at this. He can only play an hour, and he just comes off after an hour, and he's
been here 5 minutes. He's only been here 5 minutes.
He's played in like 4 games. He's trained the entire time. Like, if the guy can't do more than an hour, you might as well have brought back Jake Young, because apparently he wasn't fit enough to play more than an hour. But it's the kind of thing that if you've got a striker warming up on the bench and the last 2 appearances, Cornick's played and come off after an hour, for example. Like, your opposition manager knows what's happening. Like, you're not tricking anyone by having Bez Labala warm up ready to come on, and even in the crowd who are all going, yeah, it's obviously Cornick coming off. It's coming up to an hour. So you're not fooling anyone. You're not creating much of an opportunity to do something different because Kevin Nolan knows that Cornick's coming off after an hour.
Jake Young, by the way, 1 appearance for St Mirren in the league, 1 red card.
That's my boy.
Whee! Jordan slewed it up. Good effort.
Got sent off in the 90th minute. No, he didn't. 63rd minute. I don't know why this is saying he did 90 minutes because he clearly fucking didn't.
He spent the rest of the time in the ground somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe Fiona's been at the spreadsheet.
But the only criticism that I can make of Saturday in terms of how we managed the game was I wasn't wholly convinced by the subs. I mean, Roberts came on at left wing back, which is now his 5th position he's played this year. And Chem came in the 10, which didn't really have much of the desired effect. And then naturally, Labala went up front. So I wasn't quite convinced by the subs in terms of trying to get back into the game, and evidently we didn't score a goal despite those changes. So even if we did have one that was right on the line that we couldn't seem to put away. So that's the only criticism I'd have as the management of the game.
You know that the Stevenage way is keep it tight at the back, make it difficult to score against, and try and nick a goal. That's what we've made success of in the early part of the year when we were half decent, and even last season, we were very good defensively. When you're shipping 3 goals against Northampton, granted the 3rd one was kind of the game was stretched because we're chasing an equaliser, but even so, you're shipping 3 goals away to Northampton, a side who have scored, was it 29 Pats, whatever it was. Like, there's some real fundamental issues right now that feels like we've gone away from this identity of being strong at the back and taking a chance is all you need to do. And because we're not scoring, there's been so many 0-0 draws that we've seen this season. Yeah, we've gone like 3/5 at the back. Like, that should make you more solid, if anything. But it hasn't seemed to have had that same kind of effect, and that's down to individual errors. It's down to whatever it might be, personnel, whatever it might be. But it just feels like we're running out of ideas, and I think Saturday was the first time that I've looked at Twitter or any social media, and the general consensus was like, change has to come. Like, something's got to happen, and I think that you always have murmurings with Revs over his time with us. There was always murmurings from some fans, but this is the first time it feels like the majority. Well, yeah, exactly. Like, this is the first time that it feels like a majority of people that you see on social media are very much of the opinion that, actually, it's time. We've got to do something about this, which is mental when you consider that in the grand scheme of things, we're still 9th in the league and with Stevenage in League One. But I get it, because was it 2 wins in 20? Well, that's getting
3 and 19, I think.
3 and 19, big one. That's getting most managers the sack nowadays, right?
It's really weird because as someone who, even last week, I was very much on that fence of maybe we do need to change. Weirdly, like, the only thing from Saturday that to me said we need to change is that we lost to Northampton. Like, actually watching the game, I watched that game and I go, apart from maybe some substitutions, I can't really say that Ravel did much wrong. I mean,
no, there is a lot of individual errors on Saturday that cost us points.
Yeah,
I mean, the ref. It's not the reason why we lost, but the ref was fucking shit as well. I couldn't go through the whole episode without fucking mentioning that absolute shithead. But he doesn't take the blame. He was just fucking pony.
Yeah, but you're a League One side. There's players will make mistakes, and every referee's gonna be shit. But like, every player is gonna make a mistake when you're in League One. It's just the reality of it. Like, so it's how you overcome those mistakes. And the reality was, for us, as soon as we'd made a mistake and we conceded a goal, did we ever really look like we were going to go back and win that game? No, even though we were in the second half, we were the better side. We were on the front foot, but we still didn't look like we were going to score.
Yeah. Did the line give the handball against Kemp that disallowed his goal? because there's no way the referee saw it. He had the same angle
The
as we
linesman
had.
didn't give it
from the
because
camera,
there
which
was no
couldn't see
flag.
it.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
liner
there's
didn't give it
no
because we
flag.
were all
He's
confused in the
guessed.
stadium.
He's
Yeah.
absolutely guessed.
We were all confused in the stadium what he'd actually disallowed it for.
This,
'Cause we looked at the lino and the lino did nothing, absolutely nothing.
This referee, just to put him in, as a human being into context, is the one that gave the Michael Bostwick penalty against Newport for winning a tackle.
Oh,
You know, Bozzy flew in. I mean, really flew into that tackle. Didn't touch the player at all. The ball probably landed in the opposition penalty area, and the ref just gave a
the ball
penalty.
to a hard penalty.
Yeah, the ref gave a penalty because he was off his feet and the ball went quick.
I mean, even Goods, I would argue. I mean, Good won the ball, but it was one of those kind of
The manner in which he
irrational.
win it.
It was an irrational challenge, but he does win the ball, and it's kind of if he's won the ball first, and then his legs have gone a bit of a tangle, and then obviously the player's gone down. So I can see why the referee's given it, but at the same time, he's won the ball, and so that's quite difficult as a pill to swallow. But to be honest, I looked and I went, well, we shouldn't have fucked up in the first place to give him the opportunity on goal. So it's probably sod's law, but you know,
I wasn't surprised to see the penalty given. I have no idea why Kemp's got. Well, I know it was disallowed for handball, but I don't know how you watch that from where he was standing and be certain that he's handballed it. I can't see a handball from the camera angle.
But yeah, I mean, end of the day, as we've said, you can't concede 3 to Northampton Town. You just can't.
No, absolutely.
Whether it's down to individual errors or what.
I've seen a couple of Northampton fans on the old Twitter. Proper like, how dare Stevenage fans be so annoyed that they lost to us? Like, it's got nothing to do with club stature, you fucking donkeys. It's to do with the fact that you're prime for the fucking drop, and even out of form. When you look at the two squads, we should, on paper, win. That's all there is to it. If you had started like the Clappers and had a slump, and we were in the relegation zone, you would be fuming that you'd lost 3-1 to us as well. Absolute fucking idiots.
They knew themselves ultimately that they'd rode their luck in that game, and it was players like Fitzsimons in goal for them that was immense, to be quite frank. Like, he pulled off 2-3 quality saves. I can't remember who one of their centre backs is called, but very, very tall. Had a storm of a game. I want to say Moore, but that could be very wrong.
Moore is a tall fella.
But he had a great game at the back.
In the middle of the three.
Yeah, and so you look in, they
had
some really...
on the left of the three had a really good game. Dyke was fine. Terry Taylor had a great game. Dean Campbell had a good game. Mr. Guinness Walker had a very good game. I mean, I thought List looked as lively as I think I've ever seen him. He was up for
by
it.
By the way, Northampton fans don't like him.
Well, he didn't do much, did he? Like, he didn't cause us overly. Like, he didn't overly cause us too many headaches. Like, there was no end product.
Barely heard his name on comms.
There was no end product, but he was putting himself about. He gave Luther and Good down that side a bit of a headache because he was there on them constantly. And, he might not done a hell of a lot with the ball as it happens, but he was one of those players that you'd come off the pitch and be like, fuck it, I'm so glad I haven't got to face him again this season.
Yeah, you have to give them credit. They defended incredibly well, and they took their chances when they came. And ultimately, that's what we were doing at the start of the season against teams that were better than us, ultimately, really.
Yeah.
And we were chuffed with it, so you can't blame them for being happy with it. But
being happy with it and being angry that little fucking pokey pony Stevenage have got a front for being annoyed that they've lost to Northampton. Just, that if they give it any more thought about the situation, they'll be like, yeah, all right, fair.
That was
it's the manner of it, isn't it? Like, you don't mind losing to someone who plays really well against you. You mind losing to someone when you give them easy chances to score, fuck up your good chances to score, and end up going down 3-1 to a team that ain't amazing.
Look, it's about half an hour in, so it's a solid 25 minutes we've been talking about this. I don't think we need to keep banging this drum, do we?
No.
Instead of me letting this run on for another 20 minutes, should we do a quiz?
Fantastic cottage pie, though. I will just reiterate that.
Say it again.
Fantastic cottage pie. I mean, spectacular.
Good. They have to have something for him in Northampton because, by God, is it a horrible place to be.
And I got out of the car park really quickly, so that's a bonus too.
Oh, lovely.
Double trouble.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, that's more successful than any visit to Northampton I've had. So,
I was going to say, I've got to find some joy in life.
and escaping is the only joy there is to have. Right. Anyway, we're doing a quiz. I've got a new format for the week. So enjoy. It shouldn't be too foreign to many people. I know Pat has done quizzes of this ilk in the past. I'm sure Greg probably has. We're playing Only Connect.
Uh-oh.
The premise of it is each round, the points for the points that are available each round will decrease with each clue I provide. Each round has 4 clues as to the link between the clues I provide. If someone is mad enough to get it on the first clue, you get 5 points. Second clue, 3 points. Third clue, 2 points. And the final clue, 1 point.
Please be Luke Amos.
I can tell you now, Luke Amos is not in the quiz. I'll give that as a little clue to get you and your obsession with Luke Amos handled early doors. So, question 1, or round 1, whatever you want to fucking call it. The first clue is Michael Bostwick. There could be 93 different things.
Wait, so what is the is the answer anything?
Well, you've
The
got
answer is
to
the
find
link between the 4
you've got to
clues.
give me the link
So
between
it could
the
be a
4
club,
clues.
it could be a player, it could be a manager.
It could be all sorts of things.
Okay, fine.
The second clue is Luke Freeman. The third player is Saxon Early.
Pat.
Go on, Pat.
Played for Stevenage on loan and as a permanent player.
Patrick Jackson gets the first points of the day. 2 points to Pat.
Oh,
Bozzy.
Christ, that kind of kid thing. Jesus.
So Bozzy joined us in 2022 from Burton on loan before making the move permanent. Luke Freeman in the 11-12 season from Arsenal before, again, season later, joining us on a permanent deal. Saxon Early, 2022 from Norwich, and then obviously this season on a permanent. And the final clue was Ate Ashby Hammond, 2022 from Fulham before joining us the following summer. There you go. Patrick Jackson is off the board. As if there was any doubt. The second round, the first clue is Mark Roberts. Nicholas.
Was a player that had a spell as caretaker manager for Stevenage.
No, you're right. I hadn't intended on this earlier, but you're frozen out for the next clue. You can come in if we get to clue 3. The second clue is Alex Ravel.
Mine was still on as well.
It's yours, Greg.
I'm going to go Cambridge United.
Incorrect. You are now frozen out. Nick, you are back.
Technically a correct answer.
That's the right answer to those 2.
Sorry, Greg.
I'll take the moral victory.
It's technically a correct answer, so fuck what I've got here. You can have the point.
Thank you.
The third clue is Paul Fairclough. And the final clue is Graham Medal winner Wesley.
Nick.
Both
all had spells at Stevenage and Farnborough.
Nope.
Oh,
are we going to draw a blank? I'm going to put my day.
Well, I'll have a guess. I may as well have a guess. All left-footed.
Oh, what?
Left-footed.
don't think any of them were left-footed.
No,
Robbo definitely was, apart from that.
None left-footed.
no. Technically, they've all had multiple stints managing the club. Mark Roberts.
I was on the right lines.
Mark Roberts had 2 interim interim things in 2012 and 2013.
Yeah.
Paul Fairclough managed us. Sorry, Alex Ravel managed us in 2021, and then from 2023 to the present day. Technically, you could probably say that Alex Ravel's actually had 3 stints because he had the interim and then was given it on a permanent basis.
Have they all taken caretaker roles?
Not for the club.
No.
Paul Fairclough was in charge between 1990 and 1998, and then 2000 and 2002, and Wesley 2003 to 2006, 2008 to 2012, 2013 to 2015, and 2019 to 2020.
My favourite stint.
2 or more.
I forgot Robbo had that second stint.
Yeah, two stints. Yeah.
I always think about the Rochdale game, and that's about it.
The third round, the first clue is 1980, 1981. The second clue is 1993, 94.
Just 2 years I wasn't alive for. No worries, mate.
What you still
Well,
on?
Here, have a third. 95 to 96. No, sorry, 1995, 96. Boys, you're doing really poor.
Yeah, only connects hard.
And the final clue is 2009, 2010. Nick.
Seasons we've achieved 100 or more points.
Incorrect. I like your thinking, though.
Thank you.
Greg, I don't think this is.
You're in the ballpark, Greg.
I don't think this is right because I'm pretty sure we were in the conference for longer than that. But I'm going to say years that we've been promoted. So I'm pretty sure we're in the conference in like there.
You're so close, but again, technically no. Technically yes, but that's not my answer here.
All right, okay. So that's not what I got right, but not got anything for.
Another one. Pat, you gonna venture
He's got to
again?
get it now.
No, I got nothing.
It's years Stevenage have won the league. So 80.
One of them, the promotion was denied. Fuck.
Yeah.
81, United Counties League Division 1. 93, 94 was the Isthmian Premier. 95, 96, the Football Conference. And 09, 10 is the Football Conference. Yeah.
I went too niche.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not quite as complicated as that. So the next round, the 29th of November, 2020.
Okay.
Second one is 7th of January, 2012. The third is the 8th of January, 2011. I can't believe this.
Greg, we've beaten Cambridge. You love that Dabo game, and I had a feeling.
I do love that Dabo game, but no, that is not the right answer. And the final one, if no one has an improvement on Greg's answer, there is the 8th of January, 2022. Nick.
Oh, which way round do I want to go?
Well, hurry up about it.
Times we've fixtures we've lost at Northampton away.
No. So yet again, Pat, you are the last one standing. Go on.
Well, they're all quite early in the year, or like late in the year, but early in the season. So I think it might be one penalty shootouts, because that's when all the cup competitions are still happening.
One of them is a penalty shootout, but no. So the correct answer is the date. They are all dates of FA Cup wins, beating teams from a higher division in the Football League.
Oh, it was
29th,
close.
Close. 29th of November, we beat Hull City 6-5 on penalties. 7th of January 2012, we beat Reading 1-0 at the Majewski. The 8th of Jan 2011, we beat Newcastle 3-1. And the 8th of January 2022, 11 years later, we won 2-1 at Aston Villa.
I was so focused on Northampton just a matter of days ago.
Craig fucking hell, not Craig. He's a different podcast. Greg's been obsessed with Cambridge here as well.
Just fucking hate him.
Okay, the next round. I've got 3 points now.
This is going terrible.
I'm giving myself points when no one gets the answer.
That does not incentivize good quiz question writing, by the way.
I only decided that I was going to take the points when no one got the second round. Anyway, the next round, the first clue is Michael Bostwick.
Hey!
I had to rewrite another clue because he was another question because he was the first clue on that one as well, and I was like, that 3 times is too many.
What if we'd have got the other answer right, but for the wrong one at Michael Bostwick?
Doesn't matter.
You'd have been wrong because you'd have guessed the connection incorrectly
Yeah.
for the other clues.
Yeah, exactly. No guesses? I mean, you'd be mad to go now, I suppose. The second clue is Luther James Wilding. Nicholas.
Captain
Right, I like
Stevenage FC.
Incorrect. You're frozen. The third is Chris Day. Okay, and Nick, you're back in. The final one is recently retired Ronnie Henry.
Ooh. See, Luther.
Luther's throwing me off.
Yeah.
Well, let's throw one in then, Pat.
Go on then, Patrick.
Players who have been sent off for Stevenage.
Incorrect.
Nick.
There's no way I would have that list without having Adebayo on it.
Fair.
Nick.
Players who have a very healthy property investment portfolio.
Niche.
Again, a little too niche.
It's good, but it's not right. Greg, I'll
go on, Greg.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I'll go with players who have played over 150 games for Stevenage.
Right area, but it's not correct. They are the top 4 Stevenage record appearance holders. Bozzy with 214 appearances, Luther with 295, Chris Day with 345, and Ronnie Henry with 408.
Look, you show me that Day, Ronnie, and Bostwick don't have really healthy property investment portfolios, and I'll accept a loss.
Is that just Football League appearances? Because
Yes,
I don't know, probably.
Because I'm pretty sure there's like Mark Smith must have more than.
But this
that's
is
Football League.
The website I was looking at. Those are the 4.
Might be Football League.
Okay, round whatever 5, I think.
Still ain't getting one right.
The first clue is Cambridge United.
Woo!
Fuck them. Fuck them.
I was going to jokingly say, is it games where Darbo played well, but I wouldn't be able to get 4 out of that.
Oh, Nick.
Go on, Nick.
Clubs that are winning off the pitch.
I really wish I know. The second clue is Accrington Stanley.
Oh shit, I'm frozen out now.
You are frozen out, Nick. I hope that joke was worth it.
Greg.
Oh, Pat just got snuck in there ahead of Greg.
Yeah, well, I'm guessing. Clubs Stevenage have beaten in the playoff.
No, you're frozen.
Your reaction's not making me confident on this, but I'm going to go for it anyway. I'm going to say clubs that we've beaten in the non-league and the Football League.
No.
I like that.
They're both frozen out now.
They're both frozen out. Nick, you get
for
3
this
rounds. The next clue is Southend United.
It's to do with playoffs. It must be. teams that we have lost to in the playoffs.
You're frozen out. The final one is Sheffield United.
Greg,
Boo!
it's just teams we've played in the playoffs.
It is teams we've played in the
Oh,
playoffs.
fuck's sake.
Son of
Pat,
a
you were
bitch.
so close, Pat. So Cambridge United, we lost 4-3 on aggregate after extra time in the
Fuck you, Scott
2008-2009 conference playoff semi-final. 2010-2011, we beat Accrington Stanley 3-0 on aggregate. Southend United 14-15, lost to them 4-2 on aggregate, and Sheffield United we lost to them 1-0 in their League One playoffs in 2011-2012. The final, famous for Dave Dean famously was on Sky Sports looking really bored while their lady stood next to him, had a right old giggle. Okay, and the final round. So just going into this, the scores are Pat has 2, Nick has 0, and Greg has 1. I'm not
Like
really
the good
scoring.
old days of Boropod quizzes.
Yeah, I'm not really scoring for myself. You've had your time, Nick. The first clue is Sean Marshall. I'm pretty sure Greg is the only one that might remember that name.
I do.
Nick.
I'm not ready to answer.
Fuck. Go on then, Nick.
Marshals that have played for Stevenage.
No.
If Phil was the next one, I swear.
You're frozen out. The next one is Philip Marshall. No, it's not Philip Marshall. The next one is Jamie Reid. No advances. Okay, Nick's back in. The third clue is Elliot List.
Mm. I'm so tempted, but no, I won't yet.
And the final, I mean, I would encourage you, Nick, if you have a correct answer, to go for it because
Nick.
it's the only way Pat isn't going to win.
Okay, Nick.
Go on, Nick.
Players that have scored more than 15 goals in a season, or strikers,
Ooh.
strikers that have scored more than 50 goals in a
No,
season.
no, you're frozen out. Pat wins. But we're gonna finish it anyway. So the final clue is Danny Newton. Oh, actually, Greg could tie things up here.
Yeah.
He has a point. I was premature on the Pat wins. I apologise.
No, I don't think you were.
No? Okay.
I can't even think what. Sean Marshall's throwing me off.
The connection here is they are the players with the most goals off the bench for Stevenage.
Okay.
Sean Marshall has 7. Jamie Reid has 8. Elliot List has 8. And Danny Newton has 9.
I was going to say, I didn't think Sean Marshall came through the Jamie Vardy Academy.
I can't believe Robin Shroot wasn't in that list. That's disgusting.
I don't think Robin Shroot scored as many as 7 in regardless of whether he started or not, did he?
I don't think Robin Shroot's ever making one of Nate's quizzes.
Oh, I will sneak a Robin Shroot in there one day, and it will be the week that Pat's like, "No, you've got enough people. I'm going to sit this one out."
yeah.
So,
Fun fact: Luke Amos plays for Perth now in Australia.
He does, yeah. He got contract renewal not long ago.
Nick literally sits there refreshing Luke Amos.
Yeah.
Luke Amos.
He's the sole contributor to his Wikipedia.
He spent time at Hibernian before that, just so you know.
Good to know. I just sold. I just sold Jordan Roberts to Hibernian for £1.2 million on Football Manager. Right, let's go through the weekend's League One action. Just gone, not this coming. Port Vale 2, Burton 2, Luton 2, Bradford 1, Mansfield 0, Exeter 0, Peterborough 6, Wigan 1. That ended Ryan Lowe's tenure there. Is that the right person? Yeah, that's Scout.
Yeah.
Scout's idiot, isn't it? Plymouth 1, Lincoln 4, AFC Wimbledon 3, Reading 2, Bolton 3, Barnsley 2, Huddersfield 2, Blackpool 2, Rotherham 0, Cardiff 3, and Cardiff had a man sent off. Stockport 0, Leyton Orient 0. Stockport had a man sent off there. And Morecambe. Wickham 4, Doncaster 0. So that leaves the table. Port Vale, bottom of the pile, still 9 points adrift. Then you've got Rotherham, Wigan, and Burton remaining in the remaining places. Doncaster are 20th. We allowed Northampton to jump all the way up to 19th from 23rd. That is how congested things down there are. 20th all the way up to Doncaster, Northampton, Orient, and Blackpool up into 17th have 33 points. Then Plymouth and Barnsley have a gap to the chasing pack on 37. Then you've got AFC Wimbledon, Exeter, Mansfield, and Reading up to 11th. Peterborough now in 10th on 41 points. Stevenage down to 9th on 42 points. Wickham are on 43 points. Luton are on 45 points. And then Bradford have a small gap and a game in hand, up in 6th on 49 points. Huddersfield are on 49 points. And then Stockport 53, Bolton 55, Lincoln 61, and Cardiff 63. Lincoln, boy, do I hope they fucking beat Cardiff to the title. That would be
a hell of a win on Saturday.
Hell of a win on Saturday. They look fucking class, don't they? They look really, really good. As do Cardiff, admittedly, at the moment.
Yeah, but Lincoln with Bolton at the weekend is going to be the big telling point as to whether they can maintain it. I think because Bolton are one that are just creeping up behind them, aren't they? So
yeah,
that's quite a big game for Bolton.
They've got the same record over the last 6 games: five wins and 1 draw. Two very good sides. Yeah, I mean, there's a gap of 6 points at the moment, so you'd assume that Lincoln should be the favourites going into this game. Is it at Lincoln?
Yeah, if Lincoln win that, they've got a game in hand as well, so they'll be 9 points clear with a game in hand. Like you put your bets on them. Seeing
those two be in the autos,
yeah,
absolutely.
So that's quite a massive game for that top 2 run.
Lincoln have done really well, not managing to not losing anybody and strengthening in December in the January transfer window as well.
I mean, their finances are ridiculous. I think they've got like a 99% of their revenue is spent on wages.
Yeah,
kind of ratio, but yeah, it's mental. But hey, if it's getting them up to the championship, I'm sure they don't mind.
Yeah. Looking ahead to the next sort of the rest of the week, Stevenage and Barnsley tomorrow night. We'll talk about that in a moment. Got Mansfield, Peterborough, and Wigan, Reading also tomorrow night, and then on Saturday you've got Reading, Wickham, and Stevenage, Huddersfield as the lunchtime kickoffs. Doncaster and Port Vale has been postponed. Is that because of FA Cup? They can't have postponed that because for any other reason, can they? Already, it's not going to be weather, unless the river around the Keepmates bursts its banks and it's under 6 feet of water, I suppose. Barnsley, AFC Wimbledon, Blackpool, Plymouth, Bradford, Peterborough, Cardiff, Luton, Exeter, Northampton, and Lincoln, Bolton finish those that run. So there's some quite tasty games. Obviously, we've mentioned Lincoln and Bolton. You've got Cardiff and Luton, which should be a decent enough game. Bradford and Peterborough could even be a decent game.
Huddersfield, Doncaster, 7 o'clock, English Football League trophy.
Okay, there you go.
No one's watching that.
No,
probably not.
I think Port Vale are still in the FA Cup, aren't they?
Surely.
Oh, how? Yeah, they're playing Bristol City. Burton still win it as well.
In the last 19 games, we are 21st in the league. And only
Yeah.
Port Vale are the only side that have won fewer games than us.
Tasty.
Joyous.
Yeah, delicious. That. Love it. We have a -6 goal difference. It's painful.
Do we
Right.
actually?
Yeah. No, I mean in the last.
Oh, over those. I was going to say
over the last 6.
I mean, to be honest, our goals for and goals against is quite depressing in the sense that it's
Yeah, of course
30 to 30, 31 to 30, which although is great defensively, my God, that's awful for goals scored. That's on the
Yeah, I
same
mean,
par as Wigan.
still
It's
joint
mid-table, isn't
second. Still joint. Well, technically joint third lowest conceded, along with Lincoln, Mansfield, and Exeter. Only Cardiff and Bolton have fewer conceded than Stevenage, but all of the teams, including Mansfield and Exeter, have scored more than us, and most of them considerably so. Right, Pat, are you ready?
Always.
So
Yay.
I've got some music to play on it this week. So once you hear the music, off you go. I have pressed play.
Tuesday night at the Stevenage FC Community.com Kazoo Carly Sings Cup Stadium. Stevenage versus Barnsley. A chance for Stevenage to get the better of their opponents who they lost to 3-1, giving them terrible goals in the reverse fixture. No, that one. Not that one. The one before that. What formation will they play? Will Corpigiani appear? Will Revel Out fans shout, fucking run out of words. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. Are we going to win it? Who the fuck knows? We've got to be better than last time, though, surely.
I'm so hyped. Not even Bez Labala starting would stop me from being there tomorrow night.
I had to mute myself, otherwise I would have just drowned him out in my hysterical laughter.
See, I'm disappointed about that because I fully want us giggling alongside it. I can just decrease our audio for that bit.
The Stevenage FC Community Kazoo Stadium, that got me.
I was just expecting the same as last week, and then it just like goes into this full WWE promo.
Yeah, honestly,
once the music starts, you have to.
It's fantastic, Pat. I was going to say it's exactly what I hoped for. It's not. It's better than anything I dreamed you would produce there. I thought you would be doing more or less the same as last week, and you absolutely crushed it.
When Pat has a week off, Nick's got to take the reins on that. I think
I can't top that. I can't.
You don't have to. You don't have to do it in
halfway through.
You don't have to do it in the Stone Cold Pat Jackson style. You can always pivot and do it in iambic pentameter or something.
Oh, fucking hell, mate.
I'll get my sparkling jacket out. I'll turn my lights off.
On the old NFL podcast, we used to do a thing called The Week in 60 Seconds, where someone had to review the previous week, and we took it in turns. And I once did it in iambic pentameter, and it was complete. I was impressed. And then the following week, one of my pals, Ross, decided to do it all in Norwegian, and that was that really for us.
Less helpful, let's say.
Yeah, we had to do it again in English because we had no fucking idea what he'd said. But there you go. Right. Anyway, look, we've got two games to talk about coming up. Stevenage versus.
We are still doing it after all of that. There.
Well, yeah. Look,
peaked anyway.
Stevenage versus Barnsley. Look, two teams that aren't having good times. I was going to say good seasons, but on balance, if you look at the season as a whole, we're 9th. It's an improvement, so we can't say it's a bad season yet. We've got one win in 6. They've got 2 wins in 6. Obviously, one of those being us. Neither team, they're in 15th. They've scored. I mean, admittedly, they scored 13 goals more than us, but they've also conceded 16 more than we have. So Yeah, they've got some good players. They've lost their best player in Davis Keeler-Dunn. He's gone to Wrexham. Is there anyone else there worth talking about now?
I reckon Bradshaw was the 9 that we were after until he swiftly pivoted to Barnsley. He was one that we were linked with for quite a lot of the January window. So if he could please have an absolute stinker, then that would be delightful. Yeah, I think we will fare better than what we did at their place, partly because our pitch is smaller, narrower, less space. So that's what they really enjoyed at their place, was how much space we gave them in wide areas.
But Barnsley are a weird one, aren't they? Because they're a team that I always look at, and even this season, I look at their squad, and I'm like, well, on paper, I don't think they're a bad side. Like the squad that they've got, even now, sure, Davis Keeler-Dunn's gone, but Luke O'Connell's decent. Scott Banks is a very decent player for League One. Josh Earl's good. Adam Phillips decent. Tanai Watson, all good players. Patrick Kelly, every time I've seen us play him, every time I've seen us play a team that he's playing for, we've been it's been a battle in the middle.
It's one of those games where
their fans expected another rough season, and I don't really understand it. But that's what they're getting, isn't it?
It's one of those games where they're going to come down not particularly high on confidence, and we'll probably take a point. They're not going to necessarily go right at us and expect that they want to win the game, or expect that they should win the game necessarily. So it's just going to be interesting to see how we break them down, and what style they come with. Whether they just let us have the ball, knowing that we don't like that, or whether whether they go a bit more expansive. Because I mean, they've got like you say, on paper, they've got the talent to be one of the better sides in the league. I know Dave McGoldrick's probably 84 years old now, but he can still find the back of the net. Same with Tom Bradshaw, and Connell's a great player, and they've got some good players. So I think it'll be a case of first goal is going to be really important in this game. I think if we concede first, you can just see it will get a bit jittery, and that's just going to play into their hands.
Whereas we concede first, it'll go exactly the same way as Saturday, won't it? We'll have periods where we're like, how haven't we scored? And then they'll wrap it up.
I think let's go ahead at least. Like I think even like we didn't do that against Northampton. We didn't protect anything. Even when we equalised, we then not long after then gave it up again. So I think this could be a very similar game in that regard. I think they're probably a better side than Northampton, but not by a country mile. It's just going to be one of those ones. I think the first goal is going to be really important, and I think we have to score it, and score it ideally early, so we can, we're not in a situation where, it's 0-0 going into the last 5 minutes, and we're trying to force anything and get caught on a break. So I think scoring that first goal is big for this.
Yeah, they're not great on the road at all. I mean, I think they drew to Wigan a few weeks back. Granted, we did too. Yeah, we did too, but we played awfully that day. So I'd like for us to look at tomorrow night and go, look, there were some obvious negatives from Saturday, but there were some positives for us to take from it in terms of how many chances we did create through pressing high, through putting balls into the box. And so I'd like for us to approach tomorrow with that front-footed game that ultimately won us the game at Peterborough, albeit by only 1 goal. We probably could have had 2, 3, 4 if we took chances in that game. Northampton, again, a lot of front-footed football and really putting the pressure on, had chances that we should have scored. So if we can do it at home again, then I think we can get that first goal. Barnsley, not great on the road, aren't exactly going to come flying forward at us. So that's the opportunity for us to take hold of the game nice and early, as long as we can take the chance that it comes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the key, isn't it? Like, it's been the key for weeks. I know, like, not taking chances has been our biggest problem. But you can see with what they've got that you could see them nicking one at some point. I don't think this is going to be a 0-0 draw. I don't think this is going to be two sides who just play out a 0-0 draw. But who knows? I think it's going to be Revs is under a lot of pressure right now, and I think us losing this game, or even if it is a 0-0 draw, if we don't get the right kind of performance, that the noise is just going to get louder, and then at some point, Wallace will have to look at it. If we go 20 games with 3 wins, and you're in the bottom 3 or bottom 4 of the table over that period. I'm not saying that my issue I have with pulling the trigger on Revs anytime soon is like who's out there, who's going to come in and make things like long term, not just until the end of the season. Like who's going to actually come in and make a difference.
You almost certainly got to go and look at not managers that are available, but managers that you're going to have to buy out who are doing something good elsewhere. And honestly, the stature of the club, we have to be realistic. If you're looking at maybe someone towards the top end of League Two,
I think
who's gonna look at whatever that's what I'm saying. Like who's gonna look at whatever they're doing that is really positive in League Two, for instance, and think, yeah, it's worth sacrificing this for Stevenage. I mean, if I look at the clubs towards the top end of League Two, Bromley, Notts County, Swindon, MK Dons, Cambridge, Salford, Walsall down to 7th.
Oh, get Ian Holloway in. Yes.
Bromley are the only side that I'd look at and go, well, we are a bigger club than them. But
he ain't coming to us, is he?
I'm not sure Andy Woodman's coming anywhere near this football club.
No, exactly. And I'm not entirely convinced that Andy Woodman. Like, I think that's working because he's in the perfect situation for him. I don't look at Andy Woodman as a manager who's going to go somewhere and turn things around elsewhere and be incredible. I might be doing a disservice to him. Who knows?
Anyone in that top 7 though, they're going to sit there and be like, "Well, I kind of want to see it. Can I get this club promoted?" Like, you're not gonna jump when you haven't got a transfer window to put any kind of stamp on a squad anyway. You're basically relying on. We're probably not going to go down. I'm not saying it's not impossible, obviously, but realistically, we're not going to go down. Realistically, we're not going up. So why would you come to a club like Stevenage unless you, like you say, it is a much bigger club? But then you're probably looking at like National League managers for them to feel like, okay, that's worth taking the jump for.
Or the likes of like Barnet, who are top half of League Two and are playing probably better football and getting better results than you would expect. But then, people always mention like the Cowleys, Colchester are 11th, and they should be doing better than that. So do you really want them?
That's where we would end up looking, is at managers that are doing a lot with not much. And I mean, to be honest, you could argue that what Nolan has managed to do with that Northampton side, which is absolute dross, by the way, like it is an awful side. So
I don't think it's as bad as you think it is. Like I actually think
there's some good players in there, but there are some fundamental gaps in that team.
Yeah, agree. There's gaps, but they've got some good players. I think there's Tommy's aside. Like there's some good players in that side. Like the back three is pretty solid. Like obviously not been amazingly solid this season, but more. Wasn't he the guy from Oxford who was playing like regularly for Oxford for a while? Like he's a good player. I'm not a massive Guinness Walker fan, but I think he does the job as a wing back in a solid way.
It's not a League One squad that's going to compete in League One, which ultimately, they're missing key. They haven't got much depth. I mean, some of their struggles at the start of the season have been from defensive injuries and just not having the cover to put out a squad that is capable of competing in the league. Now that they've had players coming back from injury, maybe they'll start to see better results come from it. But I think you look at Nolan. I mean, Brady now gone into Port Vale. They seem to be giving him a lot of money to try and stay up in the division. So whether they actually stay up or not, again, is a manager that has consistently proven to be pretty decent at the level with longevity and with good squad building abilities. The risk we have is these are managers tied up in contracts that are relatively lucrative deals that we're not going to go and pay triple what we're probably paying Revs to get essentially the same results.
If you buy the bullet, sorry, no, go on.
I was going to say, I was going to change subjects. Well, not change subjects, just steer us in a different direction. So, do you want to say what you're going to say first?
No, I was going to say really quick. Like, if Wallace decides to bite the bullet at some point in the next 3-4 games, I don't think he will. But if he does, then I don't think it really makes sense when you're in this situation where I think you've got to give him time to try and fix it. You get to the end of the season, you might finish 14th in the league, but that's fine. No one's going to cry about that realistically. Sure, it's not going to be fun. You're not going to get 3,500, 4,000 fans inside in the gates if things don't get better. But realistically, what's the point in just letting him go to then have, I don't know, whoever come in and as a caretaker until the end of the year, end of the season, and then in the summer try and find your long-term replacement? It just doesn't really make sense. You might as well just let Revs try and work it out, unless the players have lost confidence in him and all of a sudden like things are turning sour, which I don't get the impression they are. They're just stuck in a bit of a rut.
There was signs from players after Saturday of stay with us kind of thing, not we can't be asked, if that makes to put it into perspective. I don't think the players are in a position where they're thinking what they're doing is fundamentally wrong and I don't agree with it. I think they're in a very similar position to the fans in a way of thinking, Christ, this is getting really difficult to deal with. We just need something to fall our way to get us back on track. And I think when you're in a position like that, as much as everyone wants to say change is necessary and can be a catalyst, in a way it probably is going to be equally as useful to try and band together and be a little bit more of a combined force rather than trying to start afresh, because there are signs that we're moving in a direction. Whether that actually comes to fruition or whether we end up back in the rut of tactical challenges over player mistakes, it is yet to be seen. We've only had one game really where it feels like we've turned the table on one thing and something new's cropped up, and you don't fix that by just constantly changing things.
Yeah. My question is when is Wallace finally going to hire Luke Garrard?
He's had one stint away from Bournemouth, and it went.
I don't even think he got
No,
hired.
he didn't have another club. He just left.
He left. They nearly got relegated. He came back, saved them, and now they're sixth in the National League again. But again,
his name always pops up, doesn't it? But
it always pops up. I think he's another Andy Woodman, though, isn't he? Like, I think it's one of those where like he fits that club really well, and is it going to work elsewhere for him? Who knows?
Makes you wonder though. With him,
I wouldn't want to be the people.
Makes you wonder with him. Like, why is no one else giving a punt on him? Why is there not been another League 2 club or even another League 1 club who are struggling, who've gone and said, you know what, this guy's doing all right. Why don't we give him a shot? Like,
Bournemouth would have always over performed under Garrard.
Apart from when they were really good.
Even that was overperforming.
he's a classic one-man club, isn't he? Like a one-club man. That's the way around.
Yeah.
And you could argue Wesley was always very similar. He went.
I think he's also Bournemouth are also a one-club man as well. One-man club.
Bromley's another example with Woodman, as we've said, and Ravel might be the same with Stevenage. Who knows? But sometimes these managers just come along that they just work with a certain club philosophy and backroom staff, and it just clicks. I mean, to be honest, Bournemouth would have always got the same players as well for a period of time. It was Tyrone Marsh was their strikers. Yeah,
he's still banging them in for Bedford though. So.
Oh yeah,
hell yeah.
Right, fuck off. That's enough. Thank you everybody for joining us. Pat, Greg, Nick, thank you for coming along and making my job easier. I can sit here and let you talk and then occasionally play devil's advocate. It's nice. As I think as potentially a host should. I think I should will back the opinions and just let you lot fight it out. Anyway, I'm not even going to make Nick do his thing. Up the Borough.
Woo!
Right, so I've stopped recording.
Do